The severing of a head from a body seems like an absolute, instantaneous end. For us, it is. The brain's connection to the lungs is severed, and breathing stops. But for a cockroach, the head is surprisingly optional, at least for a while. This isn't because of some mythical toughness, but because of a profoundly different architecture. A cockroach doesn't breathe through a mouth or nose because it doesn't have lungs. Instead, its body is lined with tiny holes called spiracles, a series of ports running along its thoracic and abdominal segments. Each one of these spiracles leads into a network of tubes called trachea, which pipe oxygen directly to the creature's tissues. In a very real sense, each segment of the cockroach's body breathes for itself, entirely independent of the brain. The head was never in charge of respiration to begin with. Breathing might be decentralized, but what about the immediate, catastrophic problem of blood loss? In a human, decapitation severs the carotid arteries and jugular veins, leading to a massive drop in blood pressure and rapid death. A cockroach, however, operates on a completely different plumbing system. It has an open circulatory system. There are very few vessels. Instead of high-pressure blood contained in a web of arteries and veins, it has a fluid called hemolymph that sloshes around inside its body cavity, bathing the organs directly. The pressure is incredibly low. When the head is removed, there's no dramatic spray. The hemolymph simply oozes, and specialized cells called hemocytes quickly converge on the wound, coagulating to form a clot that seals the neck. It's less like a severed fire hose and more like a punctured water balloon that seals itself. So it can breathe, and it doesn't bleed out. But surely, without a brain, it must be completely inert. Yet a headless cockroach can stand, walk, and even react to touch. This is possible because it doesn't really have one brain, it has many. The main brain in the head handles complex inputs, like vision from the compound eyes and information from the antennae. But running down the creature's belly is a ventral nerve cord, studded with clusters of nerve tissue called ganglia in each body segment. Each ganglion acts as a local command center, a mini-brain controlling the muscles and reflexes of its specific segment. When you touch a headless cockroach's leg, the signal goes to the local ganglion, which issues the command to move, no input from the head required. It's a distributed network where basic functions are handled locally, freeing the head to be the CEO rather than the janitor. With breathing, circulation, and basic movement accounted for, why does it die at all? The answer is not dramatic, but logistical and slow. The decapitated cockroach faces two mundane but insurmountable problems: thirst and starvation. The mouth parts, of course, are gone with the head. It has no way to take in water or food. Being cold-blooded, its metabolic rate is low, allowing it to survive on stored resources for a surprisingly long time, weeks even. But eventually, the reserves run out. Dehydration becomes the most pressing issue. Furthermore, without a head, it cannot groom itself. The wound at its neck and its body in general become vulnerable to infection from fungi or bacteria. The headless cockroach doesn't die from the injury of decapitation, but from the slow, quiet processes of starvation and disease. If it can survive the initial trauma, why can't it simply grow a new head? Some animals, like planarian flatworms or starfish, possess astonishing regenerative abilities. A flatworm cut in two will become two new flatworms. But a cockroach is orders of magnitude more complex. While a nymph can regrow a lost leg during its next molt, regenerating an entire head is a different problem entirely. The head contains the primary brain, the complex compound eyes, the antennae, which are sophisticated chemical sensors, and intricate mouth parts. The genetic blueprint, managed by developmental genes like the Hox genes, establishes a body plan early on. This plan doesn't include instructions for wholesale reconstruction of such a complex, integrated system. The information and cellular machinery just aren't there. It's the difference between patching a wall and rebuilding a city's entire financial district. The headless cockroach's strange survival is ultimately a story about centralization. Our own biology is a high-stakes gamble on one single, indispensable organ. Everything about us, our breathing, heart rate, movement, our very consciousness is tethered to the 3-pound command center in our skull. Its function is non-negotiable. The cockroach represents a different evolutionary strategy, a robust, distributed system where survival doesn't depend on one single point of failure. It is a biological architecture that prioritizes redundancy over peak performance. Seeing a headless insect walk is unsettling, not because it's monstrous, but because it's a profound reminder that our own intricate, centralized existence is just one of many ways to build a life. It's a glimpse into an entirely different solution to the problem of being alive.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.